Hi, this is Dave Kern from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and I play at Diamond Run Golf Club. Golf Smarter, number 819.
It's a great year for golf gifting. It's a very light year for golf promotions. It all comes down to supply chain. Companies are selling all that they can make right now, so it doesn't make much sense to discount it, number one. Number two, if you discount it like they've done it and we've done it in previous years, you might end up in a situation in the first quarter of next year where you run out of product. And you'd hate to sell it out at the end of one year at a discount and run out of it for sales in the first quarter of the next year. It's the first time that I can ever remember that we don't have a whole long list of promotions going into the holiday season.
Today's episode is brought to you by calderalab.com/golfsmarter. Golf Smarter listeners receive a 20% discount with a coupon code Golf Smarter. Not a lot of holiday deals in golf this year. Let's hear from Tom Cox, CEO of golfballs.com.
This is Golf Smarter, sharing stories, tips, and insights from great golf minds to help you lower your score and raise your golf IQ. Here's your host, Fred Green.
Welcome back to the Golf Smarter Podcast, Tom.
Glad to be here, Fred. Thanks for inviting me back again. I guess I didn't blow it the last time, so...
No, you made very strong impression. And a new friend.
Great, yep.
Oh, man. Well, thank you very much. And I'm coming to PGA Merchandise Show. You bugged me about it, and I was like, okay, I'm going to do it. And then Bill Bales, who was on a couple weeks ago, Golf Simulators, we hooked up, and he's like, oh, no, you're coming this year. So I've already got my flights, and I will see you at PGA Merchandise Show.
That's great. We're going to be there too, but it might be a different show this year. But we'll just see how that plays out.
Well, tell me about that, because I've never been, so it'll be all new to me no matter what happens.
So what you'll get from you get the best exposure you can of new innovative products, and many of the top golf brands will be there. I think it wouldn't surprise me if we don't see some of the larger brands may not do the show this year. So we obviously don't have any special inside information on that, but it's just going to be a different show. It'll give us we're going to go. We like to go every year. We like to build relationships, and we like to explore at the PGA Merchandise Show, and help get inspired by new products and new and better ways to do things. On the other hand, it may be a little bit smaller than it has been, than in the last few years.
Is this a supply chain thing? Is this just because people don't have product, or they don't have new product?
And
your hunch. It's your hunch.
I'm speculating here, but I think unless you're a relatively small business, if you've got customers, you're selling everything you're making. Like you're not like kind of the brand exposure. The PGA show years ago used to book business, and like at the show this year, it might be like I think people have sold or have booked most of the product that they've got made leading into through the first quarter of next year. So it's just an interesting dynamic. It could be a one-time deal only situation that we're in, where whatever you're making is already sold.
So just why showcase it if we can't get rid of it anyway?
Yeah.
Interesting. And it's interesting. What I find fascinating for you is you're not there to display product. You're there, like you said, to build relationships.
We go to build relationships, and we always like to explore new products, right? Like if somebody's got a new invention or a new way to print on something, but for really it's mostly we have kind of a team that does the exploration, and we have another team that works on relationships, which is a chance for us to see people that we may only see once a year. We obviously haven't done a lot of traveling, and so it just gives us a chance to build relationships.
I see. And that's primarily with retailers you're looking for.
Well, for us, it's dealing with vendors. So we're
okay.
as a retailer, we will meet with as many of the vendors that we all the vendors that we have that are at the show. We have standing meetings with them.
You have a unique position in the world of golf, in that you're not involved in the tour, which is, kind of pushes everything. And I just read the other day here that golfballs.com is an 8-time honoree of the Inc. 5000 list of America's fastest growing companies.
Well, thank you. Thank you for providing that tidbit of information to your audience. We're proud of that. We're pretty consistent in our growth. We're not every year we double in sales. That doesn't happen. But we're pretty steady, 10 to 20% growth every year. That's kind of our that's how we roll.
Wow. Well, the other thing that really is the key, I would think, to your business here. In this article I was reading, you've also earned the elite customer service status by Stella Service. It's the authority for online customer satisfaction ratings. And then also golfballs.com holds an A+ rating by the Better Business Bureau and has been named to BizRate's Platinum Service, Platinum Circle of Excellence 4 years in a row. Well, it's all customer service.
Right.
And that's how you keep and maintain customers, I would guess.
I feel like I had an advantage over most starting an e-commerce company 25 years ago. My background was in golf club management, country club management. And so you can't mess that up, right? Everything is about the customer. It's customer focused. It's customer facing. And it doesn't matter who made the mistake. You just have to make it right. And so we've always had that approach with golfballs.com from the very beginning. And social media, product reviews, business reviews have become so important. We've just always had 100% satisfaction guarantee. If you're not happy, we'll fix it and we'll make it right by you no matter what. That's what we'll do. And if you'd rather not, we'll just give you your money back. And, that's the how we approach it. And that has served us well. It kind of de-risks things for the customer, especially when you're buying customized products. Sometimes people are buying customized product for the first time, and they might mess it up. Well, if they mess it up, and we'll fix it, redo it, and ship it to them and make it right for them. It's just how we need to go about doing business.
Was customization your idea from the start with this? When you opened it, it was like, it wasn't just selling golf balls, but it was customizing?
No, it was we started selling used golf balls, if you can believe that. So,
sure.
And if you go back to 95, there wasn't a lot of customization. And you had to, golfer demographic was a really good demo for early adopters of e-commerce. But then used golf balls was something that wasn't readily available everywhere. It's hard to imagine that you just can't. And so the idea was to build an e-commerce website, work with the guys that dive in the ponds, have them fulfill the orders, and they would ship it out to the customers, and we would be like the virtual business. You may remember, like, that was the idea. Didn't really work out that well because the guys that dive in the ponds, really their thing is not organizing product and shipping it out. It's really diving in the pond. So over time, we kind of made a decision to phase out of the used ball business and focus on customization. So that was like in the late 90s. We shifted pretty quickly and got out of the used golf ball business over a two-year period, focused on new balls. And we really carry everything. Like, we carry shoes and bags and clubs and gloves, but we kind of lead out with customized golf balls. But we were definitely an early innovator in both consumer customization as well as business customization. That's about a third of our overall company sales, selling to golf tournaments or selling to businesses that buy logos on golf stuff.
And it worked.
It's been steady, and it works. And e-commerce has grown every year since 95.
And 2020 was good for golf,
hopefully
too.
It will continue to grow, at a steady rate. It grew a lot in the last 18 months, but hopefully e-commerce continues its steady growth.
Well, everyone talks about how golf grew during 2020 with the pandemic, and people needed to go outside with family and spend time and be able to walk around. And it's like everyone's discovering golf. But how did the charity tournament business, did that grow as well? And I'm asking you this question because that was a lot of your business, I'm sure, is doing these charity events.
So we had
corporate events.
We had a tough time in our corporate business as we entered the pandemic, as you can about imagine. So it turns out, and I've got a great quote from Condoleezza Rice. I think she's fantastic. And her quote related to golf and COVID was something that goes something like this: golf is God's gift to COVID, or golf is God's gift to social distancing. That's what it was. Everybody that knows her knows that she's a big golfer, and that's a great quote. So, but tournaments, as you said, went to a full stop, and so we said, okay, people aren't buying golf stuff for tournaments anymore. What are we going to do? So we sourced hand sanitizer and massive amounts of sanitizer and PPE, and it turns out that the same people that were buying customized golf products for their businesses also were the same ones sourcing protective gear and sanitizer for the companies as well. So we shifted our focus pretty hard for about 90 days, about 120 days in that channel before. And it's a good thing we did, because that business went away for about five or 6 months. And then we started seeing it come back again at the end of last year. This year, it's full guns. It's like, I think the return of, the surge that you saw last year, a couple things happened. One is a lot of tournaments were canceled, so they're making up for it. They're making up for it this year. And I think golf is just cooler. I think people want to be better aligned and better associated with the game of golf. And so I think businesses are buying more golf related products to give out at tournaments and as gift currency. I mean, golf balls, I don't need to tell you, golf balls are a great gift currency, right? Perfect. Customized golf balls are the perfect gift currency.
It really is. And I want to talk about the promotions and gift currency at this time of year, but we're going to take a time out and we'll be right back. This episode is brought to you by Caldera Lab, makers of The Good. An incredible serum used daily will help your skin feel better and make your face look healthier and younger. I once heard a comedian say that he freaked out because he realized he was getting older, and when he woke up in the morning, looked in the mirror, paused, and said, "Dad?" I always thought that was funny till I got the age that I hardly recognized myself in photos or in the mirror. But since I've been using The Good each night after washing up for bed, there's been a decided difference in two things. One, my skin is in better shape than it's been since I was in my 30s. And two, I'm letting others take pictures of me again, and I don't mind looking in the mirror. You should check out my before and after results when I had just completed 1 ounce of The Good. You'll find it at calderalab.com/golfsmarter. I love that The Good doesn't feel greasy, nor does it cause my skin to break out. And best of all, you can try it 100% risk-free. If you don't love it, they will refund you in full. So go to calderalab.com/golfsmarter and see for yourself. And while you're there, take advantage of the 20% discount they're offering Golf Smarter listeners. This is an exclusive. Again, go to calderalab.com/golfsmarter and use the code GolfSmarter when you check out. That's CalDeralab.com. That's calderalab.com/golfsmarter for 20% off. I'm telling you, it works for me, and I'm using it every day. I'm sure that your skin will look healthier too. One of the reasons I wanted to get you back on the show, Tom, was figuring this time of year is a good time to talk about the companies that we love the most and the ones that are the most useful for everyday golfers, and golf balls comes about it. I was thinking, there's got to be something interesting that's going to be happening this year with promotions or just discounts and things like that. But my guess is because of what you were explaining about supply chains and companies not having a lot of product, it's going to be a tough year for offering great promotions, is it?
I think it's a great year for golf gifting. It's a very light year for golf promotions. And it all comes down to supply chain. I think companies are selling all that they can make right now. So it doesn't make much sense to discount it, number one. Number two, if you discount it like they've done it and we've done it in previous years, you might end up with it in a situation in the first quarter of next year where you run out of product. And you'd hate to sell it out at the end of 1 year at a discount and run out of it and not have enough for sales in the first quarter of the next year. So, I mean, I think on the part of our manufacturers, it's a smart move. It's just an interesting dynamic going into. It's the first time that I can ever remember since starting GolfBalls.com that we don't have a whole long list of promotions going into the holiday season. Now, I think I may have mentioned this to you before. December, believe it or not, is our biggest month of the year. Our biggest month of the year. It's because like most other golf related companies, their biggest months are, March, April, May,
and April.
June.
Yeah.
Those are really big months. For us, gifting is so big. And we expect this December will probably be our biggest month again this year. Just the dynamic's going to be a little different. I think the golfers that we're going to buy, that typically buy this time of year for personal use, might buy just enough for personal use and not stock up on balls now during this time of year during a promotional period. They'll just wait until they need the balls rather than buying ahead. They're going to end up buying the same amount. They're just not going to buy ahead this season. I think gift buying for golfers is up. I think the golfer headcount is up. In golf, it's such an affinity group that if you know somebody that plays a game of golf or likes a game of golf, it's just an easy gift. Like, don't buy them a tie, don't buy them socks, buy them something golf related. It's like personal, make it personalized. It's just a lot more fun. Nobody really needs more ties. More socks. Like, you should buy your own.
And plus, that's a personal choice.
Buy your own socks. I buy my own socks.
Yeah. It's a personal choice. It's like buying a piece of art for somebody. It's like, it's a piece you fell in love with and you give it to them and they're like, thank you.
Yeah.
But golf balls is really the perfect gift for the holidays. For anybody who plays, even if they don't play a lot of golf. Yeah. It's like, tell them, just stop picking up scratched up balls and play these. Lose these.
If it's personalized, it'll be put to good use no matter what, because they'll either put it up on their shelf in their house or in their office, or they will use it on the golf course. Like, it's gonna be put to good use. Absent promotions this year, we've had to be really creative, and so we thought, we haven't seen this in the market. I don't know that it's not in the market, but we decided to offer metallic gold on all of our customization types, on all of our golf balls this year. It looks really, I don't think we've got it live yet on the website. We're going to push it up in the next couple of days, but it looks fantastic. I think it's the first time, for sure. It's the first time we've introduced it, but it's a great look, and it just aligns very well with holiday gift giving, right? Like even if you might not use gold, in July, right? But gold as a gift for somebody, gold imprint on as a gift for somebody during Christmas is just a great fit.
Wow. And that's like on the Align XL?
We've got it on Align XL. We've got it on Monogram. We've got it on on personalized as well. And a funny sidebar to this, we actually bought, it turns out even gold powder is really, really, really expensive. So we bought like a little trace amount of 24 karat gold powder, and we kind of tested the look of it and the durability of it, including the gold powder and not including actual gold. And kind of given the ridiculous cost of gold, we said it looks just the same. So this year we're not actually infusing our gold ink, metallic gold ink, with real gold. Maybe next year, maybe at a future point. But I guess we figured we'd have to charge $20 more a dozen, just for like a little trace of 24 karat gold in the ink, and we figured it's not worth it this year, and it might be a confusing message too.
Yeah, well, listen, Apple would do it.
I know, and I was given a presentation to some entrepreneurs the other day, and one of them said, "Look, love the idea, do real gold, and give out a certificate with it saying that this contains real gold." But we just decided to pass on that. That was a great idea. That was that wasn't my idea or our idea. That came from another entrepreneur, but we just decided to keep it simple this year. Maybe next year we'll do real gold. And I like to say gold because it just resonates.
I can imagine that if you charged, just throwing it out, $50 for a box of balls, but with gold. Is that the way I'm supposed to say gold? It's $200 a box. And there are people go, "Oh yeah, we need to get that one."
There's probably
there would be.
I know. Just not this year, not from us. Because then you mix it and you make overruns, and then the ink goes bad, and there's a
lot of cost.
I would hate to have
you'd have to
have ink that goes bad that's sitting there with 24 karat gold in it, because it's got a finite life to it once you mix it up.
What's the reflective properties of that? Like if you're hitting the ball and it's flying away and it's got the gold markings on it, it's like, is it going to start glistening in the air?
It's metallic. It's not so metallic that it's any different than the sheen on the ball already. So you would know that it's metallic looking at the way it's printed, but you wouldn't. It won't blind you if you happen to look at it while it's flying, flying off your driver.
I saw a ball. I played yesterday, and we found a ball on the course, and it was like this deep sky blue color. It was the weirdest blue I've ever seen on a golf ball. It's like definitely this is miniature golf ball type of thing.
Yeah.
But it was glossy, and it had the World Long Drive competition logo on it, and it was called the product line was just called Bomb. So I picked it up, and I usually play Pro V1X, and I said to my friends, let's just tee off here, but here's a place I'm going to hit this ball. Well, let's see what happens. I hit it at least 30 yards farther.
Wow.
It was like, whoa, this thing. And I'm like, let's try it again. And again, I hit it really far.
I need to look that up.
Yeah. But what's crazy is that the color blue, we couldn't see the ball once it left the tee.
Yeah.
There were 4 of us there, and with a couple different shots. No, it's like, I don't know. I have no idea. And it's like, oh, there it is at the end of the fairway.
I've made that strategic error before. Remember many years ago, Nike came out with some black golf balls, kind of part of a Tiger Woods Nike One Black.
Black and red.
Yeah. And like It was an invitation to lose golf balls. Especially in the summertime, maybe not in the wintertime, but in the summertime.
Yeah, right. But, isn't that part of the model, of the business model? Like my brother used to sell greeting cards, right? And he was like, we don't care if people send the greeting cards. We just want them to buy a bunch of them. And they'll get stuck in someone's drawer anyway.
You bring up a good point. We should start selling camouflage. We should have winter camo golf balls. We should have summer camo golf balls. Because there's a lot of people that like camo, right? Like we
camo's huge.
Partner with one of the big camo companies and use their pattern, and it's ideal for golf for losing golf balls.
It's ideal for losing golf, but it would sell like hotcakes. Look at this; he's writing it down.
We're really good at collaborating on new business ideas here, Fred. I like camo golf ball.
Perfect. Oh, this is perfect. It's like sending an idea to Disney and they said, sure, we'll take it.
The other interesting thing, a lot of the balls that we sell don't get into play anyway. So if somebody's like this time of year, we print a lot of photos on golf balls, right? Like grandkids or your pet or, just lots of photos. And I have to think most of those go up on a wall, or they go up on a shelf, or they go up, and they probably don't go into play as much. Now, if somebody gives me nobody would give me golf balls, but if somebody gave me customized golf balls, I would probably put them into play. Although, when my son was born, I was given some customized golf balls, and I'd never played those. So and so it's interesting. So I'm not immune. I still have those Pro V1s sitting in a box, one of which is sitting on a shelf somewhere. I'll probably give them to my son at some point when he seriously takes up the game of golf.
Oh, you just gave me the perfect idea, and I'm going to hit you up on this. I have 2 grandchildren, and my daughter-in-law's dad is also a golfer. That's it. I'm gonna print the 2 grandkids on a ball for him.
And it'll go up on a shelf.
Yep.
He probably won't play them.
I'm gonna make a note of that right now.
An awful lot.
Oh yeah. Well, I did make him years ago. I did make him ball markers. So this is a better one. All right, let's take another time out. We'll be right back. This week on Golf Smarter Mulligans is episode 135, which was originally a members-only episode in 2010, so you've probably never heard this one before. Now, according to the National Golf Foundation, the NGF, only 17% of all golfers regularly score lower than 90 over 18 holes. Yet, when we're researching a new golf course we'd like to play, all the stats, reviews, and write-ups are usually done by excellent players. For instance, when you get a yardage guide, that information is mostly written up by the club's pro. So when it says, keep your ball to the right side of the fairway for an excellent shot to the green, you probably, I know I do it, you roll your eyes and say, yeah, I'd like to get my ball in the fairway, forget about which side. Well, that's where Bruce Stasch and HackersCentralOnline.com comes in.
So what Hacker's Guide really tries to do is give the perspective of the average hacker. And the average hacker shoots 90. And our slogan, which is real ratings by real people, is true. We get regular, everyday hackers. And when we actually ask them to sign up to become a rater, we ask them what their handicap is. If someone is a 2 handicap, we're much less inclined to have that person rate. The hope is that regular people are rating regular courses, and when you see a review from us, you go, hey, this course fits my game. This is the kind of place I want to go, and I want more than just how hard or how easy a course is. I want the entire golf experience because I'm going to spend $50 or $75 for 4 or 5 hours. I want to get a good value for what I'm paying for.
That's episode 135, featuring Bruce Stasch of HackersCentralOnline.com, being featured on Golf Smarter Mulligans, which is being released this Friday. The Golf Smarter Mulligans podcasts are earlier episodes of Golf Smarter that are just no longer available on any podcast app, but still offer relevant information to all golfers today. Now, based on your demands, we now give you 2 episodes of Golf Smarter each week. Please write a review, subscribe, and follow both of our golf podcasts and all the shows from smarterpodcast.com so that you can download or stream the brand new episode when it becomes available on your favorite listening device. I've been fascinated the last couple episodes of asking people from different parts of the industry, putting them in a position, and I'm going to do it to you now because I just find their responses really interesting. You've just been made commissioner of golf. You have control of the R&A, the USGA, the PGA Tour, all of it. What are you going to fix?
Ooh, man, that's a good one.
I started it with Barney Adams.
I saw that on your website. I also thought there's no way he dropped this one on me. Because I'm not Barney. Because I'm definitely not Barney Adams.
No, but you're not short of opinions on your industry.
I think there is I'll give you an answer with respect to kind of bifurcating the rules of equipment rules and ball rules. I play with a guy on weekends that loves the game, but he's in his 70s, and every year he gets shorter and shorter off the tee, and I believe he enjoys it less and less. While he hits it as straight as he ever has, I know he would stick with the game longer if he had a ball and a club that would help him get longer off the tee. I know he would. And so my dad's a good example of that too. It just stopped being fun for him when everybody else is just so far past where he's now. I wouldn't tell my friend this, but it's his skill level. Anyway, I'm just kind of a joke. So I don't have an easy answer to that one. I do know with certainty that several people that I've played with that are either out of the game or maybe out of the game soon would play longer and stay longer in the game if there was no stigma associated with playing not non-conforming clubs and non-conforming golf balls. Now, I'm not smart enough to know how that whole thing spins out and plays out for the overall game of golf. I just know that I have several friends that would stick with it longer and play longer and spend more money, frankly, on newer equipment if it gave them a distance advantage over where they are today. Does that make sense? Does that kind of answer that? Like, I don't know if that like, so I'm only speaking to one small segment of
right.
USGA, R&A, but that one really resonates with me because it's real, and I see it happening with friends of mine and family. Right, I just know that they would stick with it longer if it were a little bit easier and they could hit the ball a little longer, certainly off the tee. That doesn't solve everything, but
no, but it's a start. And this is just threw this in your lap. It's somebody, we were having a conversation on the course the other day about hitting the ball farther. This blue ball got this conversation going, and I said, if I'm going to get fitted for a club or something, I'm not going to look for 10 yards farther. I'm looking for 10 yards more accurate. Why are people so focused on distance when they can't control it? If you can give me a club that's going to lessen my dispersion to the point where I'm going to be consistent hitting the ball in the fairway and hitting the ball where my target is, I would think that would get people more excited than, I hit it 10 yards farther. Well, now I've screwed up every club in my bag because I'm hitting the ball farther.
It would. I would give you a counter argument to that, though, and say,
okay,
for sure, let restricting distance any more than it's already restricted would make golf less exciting to watch on TV, right? Like I love watching Bryson rip it these days. I really do, and I love watching Tiger rip it, and I love watching the guys. To me, it makes golf more exciting to watch, and I think the more exciting golf is to watch on TV, I believe the greater likelihood you have to get people excited about the game or improving their game.
So how do you feel about this ruling about the shaft length?
I have to choke down on my regular length shaft anyway, because just to keep it in the fairway. So I'm not a good, I'm not.
It clearly is they're going after Bryson. They don't want him to hit the ball as far as he wants.
Yeah. By the way, I thought that was so cool that he made it to the finals of the long drive.
Wasn't that awesome?
That's so cool. Like a tour guy, like he comes out of the tour. Was it the tour champion? It was a week after the championship, and like the next day he's in a long drive competition and makes it. That's cool.
And they were so grateful because he brought a lot of attention to long drive competition, which is what it needed. It needed that kind of shot. But also he said, if I win, I'm just going to donate the money back. I just want to grow this part of the game. And it's like, good for you.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. That was cool. And it's not often that I have to watch a golf program on my computer. But I don't know that there was any network that picked it up. I think you had to stream it to watch it. I could be wrong.
I was watching it on YouTube. Yeah, we're watching it YouTube Live. So, how do you feel about bifurcation? About a set of rules for the tour, Mr. Commissioner, a set of rules for the tour, and a set of rules for the average golfer who doesn't play by the rules anyway. But there's some guys that out there there's like. Get to be kind of cranky about it if you if you pull your ball out of a divot in the fairway. Come on, why isn't that fair?
I agree with that. I think at face value, bifurcating the rules makes total sense. Mm-hmm. It makes total sense. I'd love to. I think people would probably have a little bit more fun. Right. I think they might have a little bit more fun with the game of golf. And golf is a recreational sport that's designed to make people have more fun. On the other hand, I don't know what that could do to eroding competitive spirit in the game, and what that erosion would do to the long-term health of the industry. Right. And I have to think that's what the USGA and R&A and what these guys are thinking about. You don't want to erode competitiveness. And anyway, that's my thinking on it. I think overall, at face value, it's better. I just don't know what the long-term implications are of that. I think it would be a boon to equipment sales, right? Equipment, probably ball sales in the near term. Probably.
Sure.
It would be a hassle for anybody running a USGA sanctioned or sanctioned event, or because you literally have to check equipment because you'd have so many people with different conforming, non-conforming. So yeah, that's above my pay grade to have to figure that one out. That's why I say at face value, so I don't have to think too much about it.
So, if you're talking about, say, what I've understood be the three biggest issues with golf is it takes too long, it's too hard, it's too expensive. Where do you agree with that assessment? That's why so many people leave the game? You just told a story about it getting harder for older folks, and they just get too frustrated and walk away from it.
Yeah, I think so. I went to an NGF conference about a month ago, and there was some interesting data on
the National Golf Foundation.
Yeah, National Golf Foundation, their annual symposium. There's some really good data on what makes what keeps people engaged in the sport, in the game of golf. And interestingly enough, one of the key takeaways was that personal engagement on behalf of people, and I don't remember the specifics of it, but it was real meaningful personal engagement from a staff member or from other associates to keep you engaged in the sport was the largest determining factor as to whether or not people would play once or twice and they're done, or they would continue playing. So it's kind of and my friends at NGF are probably going, no, Tom, don't. That's not what we say. Anyway, it was something like that. And so this personal engagement, this concept of personal engagement, and if you play golf, engage people that are not or newcomers to the game, or if you're a staff, if you're a golf staff member, kind of regular personal encouragement on an individual level really helps keep people engaged in the game. I think it's annoying when play is slow, for sure, but I don't think that's the panacea. I think if and I can really only speak in terms of improving, making it easier to play the game of golf. I just know that my aging friends would have a lot more fun if there was equipment that was designed with them in mind, that was non-conforming, that kept them in the fairway a little more, not in the fairway a little more, just kept their ball within 100 yards of the rest of the group.
Well, engagement is the key to it's, since the online world has taken us over, engagement is always the key to everything. And
Sure.
As what we talked about in the beginning of this conversation and the success that you've had creating a company that has phenomenal customer service, if they're talking about personal engagement, I think that you should be commissioner.
No,
because look what you've proven. You know how to do customer service.
Yeah, Fred, I'm a one-trick pony here. One trick pony. But I know that the governing authorities are working very hard to balance, the integrity of the game with fun and engagement and
profits.
And
come on, man.
And profits. Well, I think
for everybody.
I think bifurcation. If you want to talk profits, bifurcation would be a. I don't know if it would be a one-time or an ongoing jump, but for sure it would be a really big one-time boost in the game of golf if all of a sudden it were the governing authorities said, yep, you can bifurcate. Again, nobody's telling you that you can't play a non-conforming club. You just can't any
compete.
Yeah,
anything that's a sanctioned event. Okay, I get that. Competitive versus recreational.
Yeah.
Okay.
But no, without a doubt, the stigma's there, right? Like there is a stigma associated with it. If you use the equipment, and if somehow you could kind of decouple that from anyway, just some thoughts.
Awesome, great thoughts, though, man. Tom,
and that's why I'm not the commissioner
yet. Tom Cox, CEO of golfballs.com, the place you need to go to get your metallic gold gifts for this holiday season. Man, it's great to talk to you again. I really look forward to spending some time face-to-face in Orlando in January.
That's awesome. I look forward to connecting with you there, Fred.
Well, as you heard at the beginning of today's episode, it was introduced by Golf Smarter listener Dave Kern of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, who plays at Diamond Run Golf Club. Even though I just announced it in the last episode, the response so far has been great. There's a chance that as these requests and recordings come in, we're going to find someone with an interesting story who will be featured on an upcoming episode. I really hope so. But I'd like to know about you, too. So to find out what episode you could introduce, please click on the Hey Fred button at GolfSmarter.com and let me know you want to be on the podcast. Once you get your number assigned, you call our toll-free Golf Smarter listener line and just record the show open script that I'll send you. For every 10 golfers who participate, we'll have a drawing for the exclusive and elusive Golf Smarter branded golf balls. Your chances of winning are tremendous as there will only be 10 names in each drawing. So again, click on the Hey Fred button at GolfSmarter.com and let me know you want to play along and you'll be eligible to win. Now, doing the Golf Smarter and Golf Smarter Mulligans podcasts each week continues to be fun, helpful, hopefully, and educational. But it's hardly a living. If you appreciate and enjoy our weekly content, and then I'd like to ask for your support in the simplest way I know how, through your generous donations. That's why I like to think of Golf Smarter as a podcast for caddy. Now, caddies carry the bag and provide assistance to one golfer at a time, but for caddies, they work for the group, offering information on reading greens, how to play each shot, and information on the course. So that's why I like to say that we're a podcast for caddy. And like caddies and for caddies, we humbly and graciously accept tips for our services provided. Tip jar is now open. Just click on donate at golfsmarter.com. And lastly, I want to introduce you to our newest podcast from the Smarter Podcast Network. It's called All the F Words and features two women who are writers, friends, moms, but yet they're 30 years apart in age. Each week, they pick a word that begins with the letter F and offer their unique perspectives, one being a millennial and the other a boomer, on topics like friendship, forgetting, firstborn, fidelity, fighting. You get the idea. You don't have to be a woman to listen. Actually, if you live with a woman, have a sister, a mother, or friends that you just don't see the world like they do, then you must check out and share All the F Words. Your hosts are Gabby Moskowitz and my wife, Joanne Green. You'll definitely recognize her voice. Let me play you the first episode called Formalities, and it's short, and it lays out the groundwork to this fun podcast you can hear each week.
Welcome to the introductory episode of All the F Words. We'll call this one Formalities.
It's a podcast where two writer friends, that's us, nearly 30 years apart, explore everything we give an F about. I'm Gabby Moskowitz.
And I'm Joanne Green. We'll be talking about things like friendship and fighting, fatigue, fear, failure, fidelity. They all begin with the letter F. You get that part, right?
And that's just for starters. We're going to share stories, perspectives, the latest research, and most importantly, we're going to have fun. And we think you're going to have fun.
That's the idea. You know, sometimes you have a magical connection with someone. It's like your spirits are somehow linked. Your energy is compatible. You may come from completely different backgrounds, be at different life stages, but there's just something that draws you together. That is us. Nearly 30 years apart, but every time we get together, we find there is never enough time to cover every topic we want to discuss.
So we decided to limit ourselves just to the F words. Firstly, because once we started brainstorming, we couldn't believe how many F words we wanted to talk about. And second, because we're two people who, more than anything, give all the Fs.
We care way too much.
Joanne, tell me 3 things about yourself that you think people should know up front.
All right, we'll start at the beginning. I grew up in Brookline, Massachusetts. I studied theater and media at Northwestern and Emerson. And I've lived in the Bay Area since 1975. That all counts as one thing, right?
Yeah, there you go.
Okay, then I met my husband, Fred, working in rock and roll radio in the 70s in San Francisco. We've raised 2 sons and many dogs. And finally now I'm writing a memoir called By Accident. Okay, Gabby, your turn. Tell me 3 things.
Okay, so I'm a writer who has, for most of my career, written about food. I've written 4 cookbooks and even produced a TV show loosely based on my life called Young and Hungry. It was on Freeform for 5 years.
Very impressive.
I met my husband, Evan, almost 10 years ago, and we have 2 daughters, ages 3 and 7 months. And I'm working on my 5th book right now, which is a novel.
Because this episode is just the formalities and a little hint of what's to come, I'm going to resist the urge to ask what your novel is about, but promise you will share later.
Oh, we'll get into it.
Absolutely. Meantime, if you want to get in touch, drop us a line. We have an email address, Gabby and Joanne, GABIANDJOANNE @gmail.com.
So look out for the first full episode of All the F Words, in which we're going to focus on friendship.
We could focus on focus.
Focus would be good. Maybe fatigue.
How about fear?
Maybe flying.
Fidelity.
Well, we'll figure it out. So please join us.
You'll find All the F Words anywhere you get your podcasts.